Laura here. Today I am going to be talking about my palette. Now I did introduce that in my project pan, but I thought I'd talk about it a bit more because I realised that I'm not going to be able to pan 2 whole palettes in a year, and there are a few colours and things in there that I don't want to use, and I thought I'd use some of my project pan stuff and things while I'm getting ready and talking about it. So I'm just going to use my brow pomade from L'Oreal, and I have got a little bit of stuff already in my brows from earlier today, but that's the only thing. So I'm just going to touch up a little bit. So what I do with this product is I just put it on the back of my hand and work it into the little brush that comes with it, and then I go in and draw in my brows. And then I'm just going to use my LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm just going to tidy them up a bit. And we're going to use the lighter colour of the Pro Conceal to do my eyelids and underneath my brows. And then I'm going to use my NYX primer, my NYX pigment primer. I like to try the NYX glitter glue as well, but I haven't been able to get hold of it. It's always sold out. It must be popular. So I'm going to do my eyes first today, and I'm not going to set my primer. I'm just going to let it dry a little bit but stay tacky, because what I discovered when I was playing around with my palette over last week is that the colours work a lot better on a tacky base. So I chose the nudes for in December as my palette, may have been before that actually, that I wanted to work on next after I'd finished my Profusion face palette. So it's not a completely brown palette, it has some orange and pink in it, and it only has 2 shimmer shades and the rest are all matte. But then when I decided to do my teamprojectpan, I put in this palette, my Profusion Beauty 101 palette, which looks like this, because I wanted to use the bronzer and the blush and the highlighter out of here, and I also wanted to play around with these eyeshadows a bit more because I hadn't used this palette very much, and when I have used it I have enjoyed using it and the colours in there, so I wanted to use this one more. It's really hot in here today because it's the middle of summer now, and the sun has actually decided to come out and show that it is actually summer. So when I was looking at the palettes a bit more closely, there's a lot of brown in here. I'm not going to be able to use all that brown, especially since one of my things I want to do with my makeup this year is wear more colourful eyeshadow, so I don't want to be wearing a ton of brown. And as you can see in this palette, there's lots of browns, and this dark brown especially. I don't use a lot of this dark brown. I'll deepen up a look with it. Sometimes I'll put it in my eyebrows, but it's a very cool tone brown, which doesn't always suit me. And then this palette has also got that same kind of brown in there, and it's also got lots of other browns, like these 2 browns here are very much the same, and that one up there is very similar as well. So these 3 are very similar colours, and there's browns down here as well. I'm not going to use these 2 here. These are cream products, and I hate cream products in a powder palette. They always get full of eyeshadow. You can see that they're full of eyeshadow there. and look gross, and I don't want to put them on anywhere near my face. Thank you very much. So I'm just gonna do the powder products, and I'm not going to use this black either because I hardly ever use black, so I'm not going to be panning that either. So what I've done is I've written a few notes on what I'm going to do. So I'm going to try and pan all of this except for this one. So that's quite ambitious of me, I think, because I have been working on it for a bit, and I'm surprised I haven't hit pan on a couple of the colours that I've used a lot, because in my other palette I hit pan fairly quickly, so these must be harder pressed. This one here, I have written some notes, so I'll get the notes out so I can read them. So I want to use all the highlighter and all the blush and all the bronzer. The bronzer is a quite light colour, and it's quite orange on me, but it's good actually at the moment in the summer. It seems to blend in well. The highlighter is very white on me, so it's a bit icy for my skin tone really. So I often put another colour on top just to tone it down a bit in terms of the iciness. So for the first row, this row here, there is quite a few that I'm not planning on panning. So I want to use all this colour here, so I want to finish that one up. All this colour and this colour and this colour, I just want to hit pan on. This colour I will hardly ever use, this black, and I want to finish purple. So these two I will finish. The rest I'll hit pan on except for the black, which I'm not worried about. For this row here, I want to use up this colour and this colour and this colour. I'll hit pan on the brown. I want to use up the purple. I've already made a reasonable dip in that. That's the colour I've used the most. And I want to hit pan on this brown. This brown is actually really nice. It's a nice shimmery brown, and it goes really nicely with those purples. And for this row here, so I want to hit pan on this colour here, which is quite dark, and I'll want to use up all the rest of them. For this row here, now we're getting into a lot more browns. So I'm going to use up this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and I just want to hit pan on those two. And this row here, I'll finish this one, and I'll finish this one. That's the plan anyway. I'll just hit pan on all the rest. And these ones here, this one I might use up as a transition shade, especially if this one's all gone, then I'll switch to this as being a transition probably. And these ones I'll just hit pan on because there are just so many browns, and some of the browns are very similar to some of the browns in this palette here. So I feel like this colour and this colour are in this palette as well. And there's one similar to this colour. They're not exactly the same, but they're very similar. There isn't any browns like that one there though. So that is my plan. And even though I have made a resolution to use more colourful eyeshadows, I am actually going to do a brown look today because I do want to try out the browns, because a lot of these browns I haven't even tried in this palette. And I also want to figure out how to combine the two palettes nicely. So I'm going to go in first with this Peach Baby. This is one of the colours that I use quite frequently and really like out of this pan, so I don't think I will have any trouble using this up. And as I said the other day, I discovered that I was just playing around and seeing what kind of colour combinations and things I wanted to use. And as I was doing that, I'm just going to go into the cream in this palette. As I was doing that, I didn't have any eyeshadow primer on or any concealer on. I was just having to play. And I discovered that, I'm just going back into the Peach Baby, the colours were a lot more vibrant and showed up a lot better when I do use my primer and I use it tacky. Put glitter on my face. I tidied my room today and cleaned up all the glitter that was left over everywhere from doing all my Christmas looks, and honestly when I'd finished I had glitter all over me, like all over my arms and all over my legs, and it's like I didn't think there was that much glitter lying around, but obviously there was. And I'm gonna go into this colour here called Sunsweat, which is a very warm brown. Then put that in my crease. It's kind of later in the day today because I did an eye look this morning and that's as far as I got. I didn't actually do anything else for my makeup, so I didn't get around to filming. And now it's later in the day and it feels weird doing my makeup later in the day because I usually do my makeup in the morning. So I wanted quite a warm crease, and I can't get a really warm crease out of here very well. I could probably use some of that bronzer to help me, but I can get a warm crease with these browns more easily. So I can tell which colours I'm going to use up first if I just use the palette naturally and not think, okay, I want to use this up this week. I haven't, or this month I should say, I haven't decided on making goals each month. I may do as we go along, but at this stage I just want to get a feel for the colours and which ones I like and which ones I don't like and how to combine them and use them, rather than trying to say, okay, I'm going to use all this colour this month, or I'm going to hit pan on this colour this month. So that's what I just want to use them at the moment and get a feel for them and see what I like. Just looking for my brush, which I can't find. Here it is. So I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to try this brown here, see if it's dark enough for darkening up that crease there. There's a lot of browns that are very similar. I'm going to go into the one next to it, see if that's a bit darker. Yeah, that's a bit darker. Because I want to put some gold in the middle, and I'm going to use my colour tattoo in, what's this one called, Belly Branded, which is a creamy coloured one, for doing the kind of a cut crease, because I put this in my project pan and I forget to use it all the time. I never use it, so I'm going to try and use it for this, and then maybe I'll actually use it, because I have used, in the past, I've used this colour tattoo eyeshadow very frequently, especially in the summer, and it stays on really, really well, so even when it's hot and that, your eyeshadow will stay on. So since I want a shiny gold anyway, I thought maybe I could use this as my eyeshadow base. Might work, might not. We'll have to wait and see. So I'm just going to go back in with the dark brown. And I'm just using a variety of dark browns, and honestly they all look pretty much the same on my eyes, so I'm going to have way too much dark brown than I can actually use, because if I'm trying to use more colour I'm not going to be using that much dark brown all the time. So now I'm going to go in with a nice clean flat brush. I seem to have a lot of flat brushes that look very similar. So I'm going to go into this gold colour here. Now it's a very, very yellowy gold. Nice yellow gold. Very bright yellow gold, which is exactly what I wanted for the look I was trying for. There is a little bit of fallout with these, so I'm doing my eyes first. But also I haven't been tapping off my brush, which probably doesn't help with the fallout. Probably went a bit too far with the gold, so I'll just tap in a bit more dark brown. I think I need a smaller brush to do the inner corner. And this eyeshadow does foil quite nicely too, so I'm going to get my spray and show you. So this is what it looks like when it's just dry. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good paste when it's just dry. I think so anyway. So that's just dry. Just going to put the stool on my foot, that wouldn't have been fun. So I'll put some of the gold on my brush and I'm just going to spray it with my rose water and show you what it looks like wet. So that's what it's like wet. And I feel like the ones in the Profusion Beauty 101 palette are quite softly packed, so you can see how much brighter that is. Hopefully you can see how much brighter that is. So they feel quite loosely packed, so I don't think it's going to be that hard to pan some of these shades. And I'm just going to go back in with my dark brown. And I'm going to clean off my brush a bit, and I'm going to go back into this palette, and I think I'll go back into Peach Baby and just tidy up the transition and bring the warmth back in. That's what that looks like. And I'm going to get some brown eyeliner. This is getting smaller and smaller. This is my LA Girl Glide On Brown eyeliner, and I'm just going to put that on. I'm not doing a wing today. Seems to be a fairly common theme of me saying I'm not doing a wing. My mirror is too far away and I can't see what I'm doing. That's what happens when you get old. And then go in with one of those very dark cool browns and a little brush, and I'm just going to go over my eyeliner. So this, and sometimes filling in my eyebrows is mostly what I use that really dark brown for. I have to be very careful. If I use it in my transition, it's a bit like black. It's just a little bit too dark and cool for my skin tone, and it doesn't look very flattering. I have to be careful with it. So I'm just going to get a makeup wipe and clean up the fallout, because there's a bit of fallout on my face. So when I do my cleanup around my eyes, if I'm doing my eyes first, because of my hooded eyes and the way the skin folds down, I try and line it up with my eyes nice and relaxed with my bottom lash, so that I can get a nice clean thing. And what I have to be careful of is that I don't get that smile line there. So if I go down, I get a smile line. If I go up, I'm less likely to get a curve. So I line it up with the edge of my eye and the edge of my eyebrow and go up. And just tap out the edge, because I don't need a really sharp edge. And then I'm going to go and use the rest of my makeup. So I'm using my Superstay Maybelline primer, which I have to admit, I don't know if it actually does anything at all. So, although this is the second bottle of this I've had. When I first used it, I thought it was quite good. It was one of the few primers that actually worked with the Maybelline foundations, because I find a lot of primers don't seem to want to work with my foundations. Well, with the Maybelline foundations anyway. So what works with other brands of foundation doesn't seem to work with the Maybelline ones. So I don't want to be bothered washing my paddle brush, because I hate washing that thing. So I'm just putting it on with my finger, and then I'll go in with my sponge. Then I'll go back in with my concealer that matches my skin tone. Still finding bits of glitter. A little bit of glitter on my face from this morning. And then I'll go in with my other concealer and do under my eyes. I can get a much more precise line if I use a brush for my concealer. I've been using very little concealer around my eyes and that just lately, because I don't want it to be all cakey or creasy. And this one's pretty good. If I don't usually have too much trouble with my concealer creasing, depending on how much moisturiser I've put on. I have more trouble with dry under eyes, and this one's pretty good. But then if I've moisturised really well, then I find I do get some creasing. But if I just let it sit for a little bit and then take out the creases, they seem to stay away without me having to powder it. Sometimes I powder and sometimes I don't. It just depends how I'm feeling that day or how I think my eyes are feeling that day. But if I can get away with not powdering, I won't, because that just looks better on my under eyes. So I've been using my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and I've been using it in a really weird way, because what I've been doing is I brought the Makeup Revolution Lace baking powder. This powder does have a lot of talc in it. The talc is the very first ingredient, so if you don't like talc, you won't like this. What I do is I just put a little bit of it into my Rimmel powder, because it's a very impractical design for a loose powder. You've got to put it in something. I was just putting it in the lid, and then of course I had some left over, and when I put the lid on it ended up in there, and Then I just discovered I actually like using it this way. I just need my powder brush, and I'll just dip my brush in, then kind of swirl it around in the lid if I need to take a bit more product off. And then put it all over my face. I don't bake because my skin is too dry for baking. And then by the time I get to this point, there is really none of the loose powder left, and I'm using the pressed powder more. And I discovered that it is a really nice combination on my skin. So it gives a really nice kind of blurred effect, much better than either of them on their own. This one gives a nice blurred effect, but it is a little bit powdery looking. This one doesn't blur as much, but it doesn't look powdery, and when I combine the two I get a bit of a blur without the powder. So I was pretty happy with that discovery, and I'm quite actually keen to try that with one of my other powders that I'm not too keen on, and see if that works too. Or it might work with a loose powder that I really like with a pressed powder that I don't like so much, so I might experiment with it later. So that's all that done, and I'm going to go in and do my contouring. I'm going to use my little contour brush by Simply Essentials, and my contouring colour is this colour here. Getting a bit of a dip in this one. I can actually see the circle through the powder in the bottom, this little circle here through the powder, but it's not showing any pan yet. It's a bit of a stronger colour than what this one was, so I have to use it a bit more sparingly than what I used the other one. But it still works, and I've only got 2 contour shades, counting this one. So I don't have a lot of contouring shades anyway. But this palette is getting really old, so I want to make sure I use it and get some good use out of it before it goes off, which is why I put it in this project pan. And then I'm going to go in with this sort of skin coloured one for me, my skin colour one anyway, and I'm just going to cut along the edge. I'm glad I found a use for this powder because I didn't quite know what to do with it before. And then if I get a bit crazy with the contour, I can just do that, and it helps a lot, makes it look better. And then I'm going to go in with some bronzer, so I'm going to use my Beauty 101 bronzer, and I like to use this on a big fluffy brush. Oops, hang on, I dropped my brush. So this is Simply Essentials brush 2, and it's a B01, so it's just a nice fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into that bronzer colour there. And this is quite powdery too, and I quite like this colour on me for the summer. I was thinking it might be too light, but I don't think it is. It's quite orangey, so if you're cool toned, I don't think you would like this kind of colour. But on me for the summer, it looks good. I think it gives a nice warmth to my face. So that's what that looks like. And I'm going to go in, no, not with that brush. Then I'm going to go in with the highlighter here. And I'm going to do the tops of my cheeks. But I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's quite an icy highlighter on me, and especially in the summer, it's not exactly the best looking highlighter for my skin tone, but I can make it work. Now for my blush, I'm gonna use my NATO blush from Peach Glow, and the other day when I used this, it fell apart, and I tried to repress it and made a total mess out of it. So that's not looking very pretty anymore. And I could try and repress it again, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to try and use it the way it is, because there's not that much of it left anyway. And I do really like this blusher, but it's getting old, and I have had it in my project pen last year. It's really strange saying that now. Last year, it was only a few days ago. So what I've been doing is I will put the blusher up on the sides of my cheeks there, and then I will get my Beauty 101 and use a little bit of that pink blusher and just put that a little bit on the top, just to freshen up the colour, make my cheeks look nice and fresh. And because I put the highlighter on first and then the blusher over the top, it just tones down that highlighter to a kind of more pinky shade rather than too icy, so I can make it work that way. And I'm going to spray my face, and I'm just going to use my NYX matte finish setting spray. And under my eyelashes today, I need a small brush. I'm going to use this tiny little lip brush here, and I'm going to go in with this brown colour here. I'm going to keep it really simple under my eyes today, and I'm going to go in with this colour here. Now this colour here, I don't know whether you can see, but it's already got a little bit of pan, but I have expanded it a little bit, but I initially hit pan on it because it used to have a plastic cover on here, and I took the plastic cover off and on when I used it, and it got caught in this shadow one time, so it didn't really hit pan, it just got dug into accidentally, so I threw that plastic cover away now. So the palette gets a bit dirtier, but at least the shades don't get wrecked. But it's a really nice inner corner highlight. I don't think I'll have any trouble using it up anyway. So the colours I think will be really easy to use is this one here. This is a beautiful transition shade on me because it's lovely and warm, and I really like that colour for a transition. This colour I never have trouble using, a cream, and this highlight colour won't be a problem. I don't think this purple is going to be a problem, and those three I definitely will use up. I don't know about the rest, we'll have to wait and see. So now for lipstick. I didn't bring my lipstick over. I have to go and get my lipstick. Actually, I'm going to use my Designer Brands eyeliner in gold, which I have not used at all since I put it in the project pan because I keep forgetting about it, or I'm doing crazy purple looks and things that I don't want gold eyeliner on. But I could use some gold eyeliner on this look. I'm just putting it slightly above that dark brown, just to add a bit of sparkle. And I haven't got any mascara on yet either, so I'm jumping the gun a bit. And so I'm using my Paradise Ecstatic L'Oreal mascara in my project pan, and it goes a little clumpy, but what I've discovered, if I use my Maybelline Waterproof Colossal Volume, I think it's called, first, this separates my lashes nicely, and keeps them separated so that when I go in with the other mascara, my eyelashes stay more separated and don't clump as much, which I like. Yeah, so although I didn't powder under my eyes at all, when I powdered my face I just avoided under my eyes, that concealer has dried down and there is no creasing under my eyes. Like there are wrinkles, yes, but there's no concealer creasing. So that works well for me most of the time. If I've been moisturising my eyes extra well, then I might need to set them. So I'm going over with the L'Oreal Paradise one now. And because my lashes are so little anyway, I don't know whether you'll be able to tell how much thicker they look now. But they are. You'll just have to trust me. And now I want to do my lipstick, so I'll just go and get my lipstick and come back. I did bring my lipstick over, I just forgot. So I'm going to use, what is this? I think it's a Rimmel one. Yes, Rimmel London eyeliner, lip liner in tiramisu. This is not in my project pan, but I do use it regularly because it goes with the colour of the lipstick that is in my project pan. Don't talk while you do your lip liner. And then I'm going to use my Rimmel Stay Matte lip liner in, what's this colour called? Be My Baby. And I've been using this quite a lot. It's a really nice nude on me. And that'll just dry down to a matte, and I can use my lip balm over the top that has sunscreen in it and it still stays and is fine. So that's something that whatever lipstick I have to be able to put my lip balm over the top because I'm completely addicted to lip balm. And if I can't put it over the top without it all falling off in a hurry and looking horrible, then that lipstick is no good to me. And there is another piece of glitter. No, that one's stuck on there. So there is my look with my pan, my palette and my project pan items. And I thought you might just like to see me using them and see what I have planned for my actual palettes, because there's no way I can use all those browns because I want to use more colourful eyeshadow. Even though today I did brown, but I did gold as well. And it went with my shirt. So, so I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.